And welcome to another fun Photoshop party. Today is April something. Today's April 11th. Welcome to the zoo. Wow. Been a long weekend. So what we're going to do is do part
Oh, there's
two
Anthony now.
of something old, something new. I'll try not to rehash the old stuff. If you want me to cover something we did last time,
Thank you.
I'll be happy to do it again. Um, so if you have questions, just scream and yell and say what you want to say. You're free to open conversate on this. So if you have questions, just ask them. So just let Karen know because this is her first time on today. And welcome, Karen. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's get busy. First things first, share screen. Let's go with Photoshop. That's what we're going to play in. Shrink this puppy down. Make that go away. Get rid of my Nick
By the
collection.
way, Michael, congratulations on your award.
Why, thank you very much. It was a very good weekend for me. Got to speak in Tennessee on Photoshop, got back our print comp, and I got my awards for doing fairly well. Well, I got one image that scored well, and the rest were okay, which got me in the top four. And that okay. So we have coming up June 4th through the 9th, 2023, West Coast School. Photoshop 0 to 60 a week in a week. 1 week of Photoshop. So you will learn from the get-go all the way up. Right now we're at 6. We were at 7. I had one guy evacuate my class because he just couldn't handle me, which is okay. We put him in a better class, so he's going to be happy. Tuition starts $13.20 for PPC members, $13.70 for PPA members. If you're not a member of either one, $14.50, which includes housing. $40 meal card this year, Mel?
I believe that is what it is.
And it also includes your class. So you get a week of housing and a week of class and $40 worth of meals, all for the very low price of $13.20. So,
Really now.
wow. One of these nights, I'm going to get a night's sleep and I'm going to be doing great. So, and if you don't want to take my class, there's some other classes you can take. We have Sandra Pierce, painting in Photoshop. I doubt if she would be back next year. So if you want to take her, this is the year to do it. Shannon Squires, children's fine art photography. Tim Meyer, he's going to be doing some crazy creative studio lighting this year, not just his basic lighting and posing. Joe Glida, commercial photography. That would be a fun class as well. Woody and Chris are not going to be here this year. However, hopefully Chris will be there next year.
Chris will be here next year, yes.
Doug and Laura Bennett, if you want to do landscape, that is the class to take. And last but not least, we have Mr. Tony Corbell talking about light and shadow. If you've never taken a Tony Corbell class, you've missed out on a lot. He is a fun instructor. So there we go with that. And I'm going to open up a photo in Camera Raw. Can you see my Camera Raw right now?
Yes.
Totally cool. One of the new things in Adobe Camera Raw is we have select subject. So I'm going to go up to this little patchy thing right there, which is the masking tool. I'm going to click on, well, let's do select subject first. Click on select subject and it selected both of them, which is really cool. So I want to make them a little bit brighter. So I'll just bring up the exposure a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of contrast just for fun. And let's make it a little bit bigger. Command plus to make them bigger. And I'm going to undo what I've done so far because if you look at this particular one, there is a lot of chromatic aberration going on around his feathers. Got red on the right side and green or cyan on the left side. So let's go back to the basic And under optics, click on remove chromatic aberration and click on update profile corrections, which basically says, this is the lens you used. We're going to make it perfect. So, and you can see that the colors went away on the outside. Let me go back and show you that one more time. Under optics, remove chromatic aberration. With it off and not clicked, you got this red line going on the outside. When you click it, it goes away. That's like way cool. So if you ever have a problem with the image, do that in Camera Raw. You can also do that in the Camera Raw filter as well. So that works well. So we masked them puppies out. And I can show the overlay again by clicking on there. I said I could show the overlay. There we go. I had to click on the mask, I guess. You can see, let me zoom in on this guy right here, that we have the selection, but it's not perfect. So I'm going to, on this mask, we have subject 1, I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to select sky, which hopefully made that go away. Could you see what it did there?
Yes, very cool.
Can you adjust that, Mike, where you could fine tune it like a slider?
Not that I'm aware of. I
Okay,
could probably do on the mask, I could do a mount and then do a little bit there, but I'm not sure. I haven't played with that very much. Kimberly Oker is probably more expert in the masking area than I am. She knows what she's doing there.
But I'm eating lunch.
That's okay. So I'm going to delete subject 1. And I'm going to select sky again, or select my first mask. Show overlay. Come on. Oh, I deselected the wrong one. So let's go ahead and get rid of the sky. Delete sky. Show overlay on subject 1. And let's go ahead and do the subtract sky again. So we're on subject 1. He's selected. Click on subtract sky. And that got rid of the sky for me. So it shouldn't be too much blurring on the edge. There's going to be a little bit there just because the wings were in motion when it was flying. Click open. And wait, and wait, and go open, open, open. There we go. And this was the buzzard we were working on. And I'm going, okay, that's a good start. So let's go to filter, Camera Raw filter, which is a fairly new, probably 2 versions ago. And we'll do the same thing. Go to select subject. Why did that do that?
You selected the sky, I think, not the subject.
That's what it's showing. I thought I selected the subject. So let's get rid of the sky. And try it again. Okay, we have mask. My brain is not functioning right now. I'm going to hit escape, go out of it, cancel. Yes. Filter, Camera Raw filter. When all else fails, go back and start over again. It doesn't hurt. So we go to select. Let's go to subject. There we go. Got a little bit of fuzz around him. That's okay. I'm going to bring up the shadows just a little bit and drop the highlights down just a touch. And you can see that it's got a lot of noise in there. Let's click OK. And we'll open it up so you can see. And that's before and after with all that noise. Well, can anybody think of a good way to fix the noise in there?
Topaz.
Denoise.
I've already talked about this once or twice, but let's go ahead and show it anyway. go to Topaz Labs. For those that don't have this yet, I highly recommend it. I don't push software a lot, and I am not sponsored by Topaz, but I love what they got. And what we can do is just drag this over on top, and it'll show a before and after. And I'm going to try a couple different settings. Try clear.
It's
And Mike, we're not seeing your Topaz
screen,
window.
Yeah.
God, you guys are so picky.
I know. We want it all, Mike. There you go.
Are you happy now?
Much.
Okay.
Much better.
So I'm going to try a couple different levels. I'm going to try clear. I'm going to try low light. I'm going to try severe noise. And to me, severe noise seems to be doing okay. I don't know if it's going to.
Wow,
Let me try.
that's something I gotta buy.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Sharp, but boy, this is even better.
Oh, they're both must-haves. The AI sharpen and the AI denoise are just amazing. And this will take a little while to run. This is a full-size image, so it's a good size. It's 260 megabytes right now.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah,
Oops. I was just gonna ask, wouldn't Photo AI do both of those things though? The
I do
denoise
not
and the
know.
sharpen?
I haven't got into photo AI yet. For those that have tried it, let me know. I do not have.
It does, but it doesn't go to the same level. So sometimes I use Photo AI and it takes care of what I need. And if it's not enough, then I go out and I go to the specific, like denoise or sharpen.
And a lot of times with sharpen or denoise, it will do both. Because I've run sharpen and it denoised a little bit, and I've run denoise and it sharpened a little bit.
Michael, have you seen that on one where they sharpen the face, the facial sharpness?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, they said a sample and it was like, holy cow.
The Photo AI does that too.
Is it like that?
It detects faces. You can alter what it's choosing, and it sharpens and denoises it. It's trying to do it all in one, and sometimes it does an amazing job.
Yeah, but what the sample they showed was out of sight. And I'm saying sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, you never know. And the sample that they always have will always work. But when you put your own images in there, I remember going to conventions and watch these guys do images in front of you with their sample images saying what magic it is. You try to do the same thing with something else, like, no, it don't work. Anyway, before, after. And it does look a little bit soft, so let's go ahead and go to Filter, Topaz Labs, Sharpen AI. Now this one normally takes a little bit longer than denoise, but it's hellacious software. So let's drag him over on top of this guy. There we go. And I have it set to sharpen model at the top. I have it set to automatic, so it will do that. And then we'll just hit apply, and we'll keep talking while we wait, of course. And it says 2 minutes, but it's running fairly quick, so I'll figure about 30 seconds it should be done. There are times when you might as well go get a cup of coffee, because it's going to take a while to run. But in the long run, it's definitely worth it. And when you sharpen, if it over sharpens, I'm going to show you the trick to making it not as sharp, because you get that little pixelation when you over sharpen, and the judges see that immediately and go, ooh, I got something to scream about. In fact, Karen probably heard me a couple weekends ago talking about over sharpening. And
Yeah, those darn judges.
I know, they're so mean.
One thing I find interesting about using these Topaz, if you've done a crop on your image and you haven't deleted the cropped out pixels, when you go to these things, the Sharpen AI, etc., it goes back to the full image. It's working on the whole thing, not just what you've cropped on.
Correct. So you can see the over sharpening here a little bit, little crystallization along the breast of the goose right there. So I'm going to go to Edit, Fade, Sharpen AI, and you have to do that first thing. Once you do anything else, you can't go back and fade it. So we're going to drop it to about 50%. And you can see that it's still sharpened, but it's not crispy critter there versus 100% and 0. And just
How did you
kinda,
get there again?
you go to Edit, Fade, which is the fourth one down, and click on it, and then drop your sharpening down.
You said you
Michael?
could,
Sorry.
oh, you said you could only do that one time, Mike?
Well, I can go back and do it right now, or I could have done it as a smart object and a smart filter as well.
Okay.
But I can go back and I can raise it up. I can take it back down, click OK. Nope, I don't like that.
Is that any different than having that layer that was sharpened, changing the opacity on that layer?
Yes and no, because when you fade the filter, it fades the filter itself. Whereas if you do the layer, it just does the opacity.
Okay.
I apologize for breaking up here once in a while. I got a little bit of a cold. My throat's really scratchy, so I'm losing it.
What about the color variation there on the top of the wings? The green,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. We'd go ahead and clean it up. I mean, that would be easy to clean up there. Just take the stamp tool, make it small, option click above there. Works better with a Wacom tablet because you can get in really tight. And
Would you
can
be
see
better
that
if you use lighten?
you could see that I've gone over it like 3 times and I'm looking at it going, why is that not working? So the first thing I do, go up to the top toolbar, just as Dennis did, either hit lighten screen or normal, and it starts to go away magically. And in police work, we used to call that HUA, also known as cranius erectimus. Head up. Anyway, moving right along. So that's pretty cool. I like those guys. They're flying along, but the sky sucks. If I expose for the sky, what would they look like?
Blobs.
You wouldn't see them. But exposing for them, okay, there's no sky. Well, we can fix that. This is something fairly new in Photoshop, about 2 editions ago. Edit, sky replacement, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. I think I showed this last time, the sky replacement. We'll show it again.
Get out of here. I didn't see that last time.
Brightness.
Anthony, that's old news, man.
Oh, well, it's an old guy. What the hell can I say?
Well, we kicked you out last time, so
Yeah.
sorry about that, by the way.
It's no big deal. It's okay.
You can make adjustments using the brightness of your sky, because originally it came in like that. I want it a little bit brighter.
Hell.
And we're going to zoom in just a little bit. So we'll zoom in on this guy. If you have some overburning from the sky, there's a button up here. You got the move tool. You've got, I think it's called sky replacement brush. And all you do is just kind of paint over it to get rid of the areas that you don't want in there. And it shows up really good on buildings. In fact, you can see on the edge of the feathers right there, it's crisping them up a little bit, just going in there and touching the edges. These edges right up here that look fuzzy are fuzzy in the original image. So no matter what you do, it's going to happen. But I didn't even know that that button, that brush, the sky brush existed.
Can I ask you a question, Mike? If you have an if you have an existing background, can you put this in replace of it?
If you have what background?
Like you already have an existing background, I mean, like clouds and stuff like it has now in your original image. Can you go ahead and download this? Will this layer over it?
It won't layer over an existing background, but it will go in and work around the background. So
Okay.
you'd have to do a select subject, lift them up onto their own,
Okay.
pretend like the sky is behind them, and then paint it in.
Okay, great. And that's on edit. You want to edit for the sky? Or,
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
In fact, let's go ahead and go to a different sky.
Michael, where was that sky brush?
Give me 1 second. Okay, sky brush is the second one down on the left right here. You see my cursor spinning around there?
Yes.
Okay. The second one down is the sky brush. And when I brought the sunset in, it's like, holy cow, that's like crazy.
Good Lord.
You can go in and play with the different sliders in here to see what you can get to have it come out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then sometimes your computer's so slow it just doesn't want to play.
Are these your skies, Mike, or are these included with Photoshop? Did you import these?
I took all of Photoshop's skies and deleted them. That way, if I use a sky in print competition,
you know it's yours.
I know it's mine.
Gotcha.
And anybody attending my class at West Coast School will get about 100 to 125 skies that I have.
Woohoo!
So you're investing in your sky collection. And we'll probably shoot some skies if we have some good skies there.
Yeah.
This one doesn't work for squat. I don't like that one. Click on that one. Now you got some clouds in there. That works. So let's bring the brightness down a little bit. And just, you don't need to do a whole lot of adjustment, just a touch. And then click OK. And what you're going to see is in the layers panel, you have a sky replacement group. So if you want to do something else to it, you can. You can turn it on and off and see what's what with it.
Now, is it creating its own mask when you download that?
Yeah, it creates its own mask.
Okay.
So what you do is you go up to Edit, down to Sky Replacement.
Okay.
And it does most of the work for you.
Okay.
Works great with buildings, trees, just about anything. So any other questions on sky replacement?
That's awesome.
We kind of went sideways. That wasn't where I was going, but we went there. Last time I think I talked about spot removal in Camera Raw. Remind me if I did or not, if you remember. This camera was one of the dirtiest cameras I've ever had, and it was brand new. So what you do is you click on the Band-Aid up here, and you have what's called the healing brush. You have the eraser, the content aware remove, healing brush, and clone stamp. So if I click on healing brush right there, The size, you can see the size of my brush, not quite big enough. I make my brush bigger by hitting the right bracket key and then click down here where it says visualize spots. Boom. Those are all sensor dust. So I come in and I go bam, 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 drag. And if you don't have as many as I do, which is most cameras, it's okay. It only takes a couple seconds. Here would probably take me, I think it took about 15 minutes for me to remove all of the sensor dust in there. So you can see how fast that would go versus taking the healing brush and the regular tool and doing that before and after. So you could take them out fairly quickly. So we will cancel that. I like that. Did I show content? I showed content aware fill last time, right?
Right.
And let's go to neural filters. We'll go to landscape mixer to start with. Here is a shot from a place called Jellystone. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'll go to image, image size. I'm going to make it 10 inches instead of 20 inches. So we'll cut it in half so it'll go much faster. This was shot October of 2021. 21. Yeah, because I didn't go in 22. But I've got this really cool image here. It's like, whoa. A lot of fun up there. I'm going to Command J because I'm going to make a copy of this puppy. And we'll go to Filter, Neuro Filters, Landscape Mixer. And let's start with Springtime. I think this would probably be either that one or that. Let's go with this one. And you can follow the, down at the bottom, you can follow the path that it's going and how long it's going to take. Welcome to springtime. Well, that's a little too much. Let's take it back a little bit, about 50%. So you have before and after. Well, I liked it when I shot it in the winter time. So let's go ahead and let's try that one. Upper left. That didn't do a whole lot. Let me crank up the strength. A little bit of winter. Let's add more winter at the bottom. You got all these different things down here. You can add winter. And there you go. That's officially 12 below. Watch out, wear your gloves so you don't get frostbite. Not funny, Mel. If you change your mind, don't want that, you go in here and play with this one. And we'll take out the winter and we'll do autumn.
Michael, can I ask a question?
No?
Okay, then I won't.
Of course you can.
Gotcha. I know. When I open up the neural filters, there's a beta section and there's a very nice one that I like to take out the background. Did you do away with some and then bring some more in, like color and photography? Do you pull those into this somewhere?
No, this is what the latest they have is.
Oh. Do you know what I'm talking about under beta? You know, that they were testing stuff out?
Are you running under the Photoshop beta or are you running?
No, under
Okay.
regular, but I'm just saying, in the neural filters, there was a beta section where they were trying things out and then they wanted your comments on it. And one of them, Mel, you're familiar with this, you told me about it, was it'll pick the subject and you can delete the background. And they were, I guess, trying to see if it was worthwhile. If enough people commented positively, maybe they would buy it out and include it in their usual selections. Was I smoking something?
No,
No,
I think it used to be there, but it's not there now.
They have, let's clear this
Hey.
one.
I just downloaded the beta section and it has a removal. That is-
Background removal, right.
Yeah, where you can remove the chair, you don't get that awkward looking funky thing. And I'm running off beta right now, but I was pretty impressed what it did.
So
to take
it's in
what I
the,
did.
it's in the beta version then.
Yeah,
I don't see it in this one.
So this is the standard. Everything you see here is what the standard when you open up the neural section.
Well, some of these are beta.
There it is. Yeah,
filters?
the depth
Oh,
blur.
depth
You're pointing
blur?
to it.
Okay.
Right. Oh, it's not listed here under beta. So I guess they just assimilated into their program.
Yeah, if I do a depth blur, it's going to take this guy. It's going to select him and blur the background
Right.
and a little bit on him too.
Agreed.
You gotta click the focus subject.
Click on the subject. Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. And you can adjust your blur strength here with this one right here, right below focus subject. And you can also do focal range. So there's a little bit more in focus, or drag it all the way to the right. And basically everything's in focus. So why bother doing the filter? Or take it all the way back down to 0. Make it totally believable by dragging that to the right. That looks believable, right?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Take it about 50%, it looks pretty cool.
Then you can bring, if you Control or Command J before you go into this, you can bring this out and then fine tune it with, because you have layers.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of these filters, this one doesn't, but a lot of the filters have layer with layer mask on them.
Right.
So.
where'd you find this again? Under filters? or-
Neural filters.
Yeah, where'd you
Under
find?
depth blur.
No, I mean where's the download on it? Is it on
Okay,
edit?
hang on.
or-
Hang on. It's under filter.
Yeah.
Neural filters.
Huh. That's not a beta thing.
No.
Let me see if this one is depth blur is a beta.
Oh, it says
Um,
beta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So rerun that one again.
And it asks you if you're satisfied with the result, so they like to
Right.
get response.
Right.
And if you don't like it, respond as well. They need to know what to fix and what not to fix. So, and if we do, well, let's do color transfer. And we'll get into, I think the bison likes purple, or you go in and play with it and just find what you like and and go with it. I don't like any of those. So I'll turn that off. Style transfer. You can get in some bizarre stuff here. And this is probably what their AI is looking at when it's going on now. But you can pick up different styles of painters. This one's taking a little while. There we go. I've got no idea. Normally when you hover over these, they'll tell you what the style is, but it's not working for me right now. But you can definitely get some weird stuff out of it. One more try. Yeah, there you go. Got no idea whose that is, but okay. Command W, don't save. And this is the winter time in Yellowstone for real. Let's see. I think I showed this one last time. So we got these two files. Got this one. We're going to go to filter, neural filter. And let's go to makeup transfer, select an image, which would be this one. And it automatically does my makeup for me. Thank you very much.
You look
Thank you.
adorable.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You could be the new Bud Light spokesman.
I'll drink to that.
I knew it was coming. This is what I
Okay.
wanted to see was the repair on this you were showing last time.
Well, we'll see how good it works today. Here we go. Filter, neural filters. The thing to watch on this, well, we'll get into it in a second. We're going to go to photo restoration. Down at the bottom, it's a beta. And a lot of these beta ones, you have to download them first before they'll run. So I've got them all downloaded on my computer. And it did just a fantastic job, right? Well, if you look at the top up here, it says scratch reduction. Right now it's at 0. Let's drag it. No, that's 51%. That'll work. Just to see how it goes. And a lot of this is just playing with them, see what they do. And you wait, and you wait. And there we go.
Wow.
Can you handle that one? The one thing about this, though, is if you look at the face before and after, it redid the face, but does the face match the arm? The face has been enhanced by AI as well. So we'll drop the enhanced face down to 25% to where it matches everything. And that looks pretty dang cool. And we'll go before, after, down a little bit, before, after.
Could you put this in Topaz Sharp AI? Or
I
would you?
could. I don't know. This is filter, and it won't go into Topaz for some reason. Let me see why. Let's go to image.
You're a grayscale
Mode.
image, probably.
I'm in grayscale. So let's go to RGB and go to filter, and you can see we can go into Topaz Labs, Sharpen AI. This is a small image, so it may not work because Sharpen works really good on larger images. Sometimes it will process way too fast and over sharpened.
That's not bad.
So that's before and after.
Not
It's
bad.
okay. 0. Go to filter. I keep wanting to go to the bottom for neural filters, and they're always at the top. Colorize. And down at the bottom, you have output options. And I'm going to output as a new color layer. So you can see that's what it painted, or didn't paint. You can see a little dots where it didn't do any painting. So you have before and after. Yeah, it could take a little bit more work, but dang, they're getting there.
No, Mike, okay. Could you
Go
go
ahead.
to that layer that it created and copy and move some of that color to colorize some of the areas that weren't colored in that photo?
I guess I could. Let me go ahead and do that
I mean, like the
again.
grass behind the kid wasn't colored. I'm wondering, can you just paint some of that color over there and have it show up?
Yeah, you can, definitely. Okay, I tried to open it and do colorize. Why won't it do colorize?
RPG.
It's in
Grayscale.
grayscale. That time I didn't do it on purpose. It just did it. And I'm going to rerun neural filter and it should do the same thing over again. There we go. So you got like this grass down here. We can take our paintbrush. That's a little bit too big, I think. And I'm going to sample the green down here. That'll work. And let's go with let's try 40% opacity. And on this, when I hit 4, it went to 40%. Okay, it's a little bit light. Let's go to 70. And why is that working so good? Because I'm in color mode on that layer. So that's why it works like it does. If I was in regular mode, let me paint that real quick and change the mode to normal. Normal. You can see that it's not going to work. So if you're in color mode, you can do anything you want with it. Any other questions on this one?
Oh, slicker and shit.
Totally cool. Oh, I know what I want to do. I have an image right now that I've been working on, kind of like playing with it.
I recognize that place.
Yeah, that one did very well for me. I'm happy with that. If I open it up normal, hit open. I'm not going to make any adjustments to it. I'm just going to open it. It is 260 megabytes. Command W, don't save. Back to bridge. And I'm keyboard shortcutting everything. Command tab will get me back to bridge really fast. Remove chromatic aberrations. Let's go ahead and make some changes to it. Hit auto. And white balance, hit auto. That's a little too far. A little too warm for me. I like a little bit of blue. You know what? I'm just going to desaturate when I get in there. But what I want to show you is I right click, go down almost all the way to the bottom. There is a title called Enhance. I click on Enhance and it's going to take, estimated completion time is not going to tell me. Okay, there we go. About a minute. And I'm taking it into super resolution. Basically, it doubles the image resolution so we can make a larger print out of it. I hit on Enhance. And down the bottom left, you have your little blue line saying we've got this much time left. Click on open, and it's going to take a long time to open because it's going through the enhance process first. And I need to thank Mr. Dennis Hammond for allowing me to go back up here to shoot this scene again.
Don't you do this enhance at the very, very end?
You can do it at the very end, or you can do it in the beginning and then work on your images that way. It's Camera Raw that does the enhancement. So take my crop tool, and everybody knows that there's a clear button up here. So I'm clearing the crop.
Is it Camera Raw or it's actually Photoshop or Adobe? Because Lightroom has it and Photoshop has it. I don't use
Right.
Camera.
It's Camera Raw, and Camera Raw basically is the same as Lightroom.
Right. Right. So they're the ones that are doing it.
Right. And I always do mine. Well, it just depends on my mood, which way I go with it. And I see things that I want to take out. What do judges see there? They don't see a bush, do they? So we'll hit lasso, and I have F3, which is my go away tool, an action that we do. Or you can take your healing brush, zap it, make it a little bit bigger. Go up there and zap a few of these, although that's the way it was when we did it. Get rid of that puppy. And that's about how long you need to spend on that image. Filter, Nik Collection, Silver Effects Pro. And one of the things, if you don't have Nik, it's a pretty good investment. I really enjoy it. And you can see I've only got 6 filters in here for Silver Effects Pro. These are my favorites. I have your natural, high structure harsh, high structure smooth, full dynamic harsh, full dynamic smooth, and fine art process and sepia. And for this one, I kind of like the high dynamic smooth, and I just click OK and I have it. I didn't have to make any adjustments other than that, but you can go in and make adjustments in brightness, contrast, etc. And Nik will put it up on its own layer. So Nik will put it up on its own layer. Thank you. And there you have before and after. Just that easy. So enhance, it brings it up to a huge file. So if I go back to open, it won't allow me to do that because, yeah, well. And it only lists at 260 megabytes as well, even though it doubled the size for some reason. So.
Michael,
Yes.
I also noticed that in the neural filters, there's also something called super zoom, which also does something somewhat similar to the other. But it's a little bit interesting.
I played with this a couple times. I'm not really, I haven't played with it a whole lot, so I don't know too much about it. If you have a subject that's in front of the picture, you can zoom in on a little bit more. And I'm not remembering how to do this, so I can't really talk about it because I will give you, the reason it won't do anything is because it's processing.
Right, it's showing you the status bar there.
And you can see it's at 1%, and it'll take 36 minutes to do because it's in enhance. So let's go ahead and crop, and we'll go into my magic crop tool here. We'll pick an 8x10 crop, and then go change it over to 10x8. Go back into super zoom, filter, neural filter, and then super zoom. There we go, processing. And it's not a fast filter. It's going to take a while with this even. We'll play with that one some other time and rock and roll on it. A couple of things real quick. How many people use their tool presets? Does anybody use tool presets?
Yeah, some.
Some? Okay.
I do it on the sides. I put
You-
like 8x10 and
Okay. They have, when you're doing the crop tool, they have the settings here, which are their original presets. I do presets that I use all the time. My common sizes 4x6, 3x5, 4x5, 5x7, 8x10, 16:20, 11x14. Facebook crop for doing your Facebook page. This will fit your phone. Proof crop, I do 4x5 at 150. Yearbook crops, 2x3 at 300. And then the YouTube crop, if you want to do something to fit in your YouTube channel. So you set up your presets, and let's say I wanted to change this from the YouTube crop to a 6x3.5. So what I do is go up to my preset up there, go to 6 inches. I said 6 inches, not pixels, 6 inches. Thank you. And 3.5 inches. And we'll do 300 pixels per inch. And you can see that it's all set up there. And if you use this crop a lot, what you do is you can either go here, new crop preset, and it lists what you want up there, hit cancel, or you can go up to your crop presets, hit the plus bar right here, the plus box, new crop tool preset, crop tool 6x3.5 at 300 ppi. So you can make all the changes you want. You save it. So the next time you want to use that crop, you just go up here and pick the crop you want and go with it. It's just that quick. And I love how fast that works for me. So let's say you want to do the type tool. And I have text that I use all the time. Let's use this one, which is Bibus Nue Pro Bold at 48. Open that up. And you can see the lorem ipsum starts working. And it has that font for me. It's not a permanent font, so if I wanted to, I can go up and change it to, let's say, Chalk Duster or anything else that you do. However, if you try to use the presets over here, if I try to say, okay, I want to use Myriad Pro, I click on Myriad Pro, nothing happens. Do the same thing. When you're in your text tool and you've already started, you can't use a preset. You have to use the preset prior to starting your text. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I hope.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's see. Gotta go. Hey, buddy. You can set your presets for the color you want. Move this down. Okay. You can make your preset so you have the color you want or the font you want, the settings for your paragraphs, whether you want right justify, left justify, or center, either one. So that works wonderfully. And that basically will take care of today's lesson. Any questions on what we covered?
No, I do have a technical question. When I downloaded the beta, when I go up to when I go up to the far left and it shows, Photoshop beta instead
Uh-huh.
of just Photoshop, does that mean that I'm solely on beta now, or how do I
When you
get
open
rid
up
of that?
when you open up the beta file or the beta version, you're solely on beta. And sometimes when you open up a file and it goes into beta, the next time you open it up, even though you're in Photoshop, it would open up beta and redo it in beta for you, which
How do
drives
I
me crazy.
eliminate that then, beta?
I uninstalled my beta after a while,
Okay.
but you don't have to. You can. Let me show you real quick.
It'll run just as good on beta, though, is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So let's say I want to open this one. Well, no, let me get something smaller. Open this bad guy. Whoops. Okay, you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, if I right click and it says open with, I can open with any of the Photoshops that's on my computer right now. And right now, default is 2023, but I've got 22 and 21. I need to get rid of 21 because it's just taking up space. I can open it up in any of the
Oh, okay.
programs that will take it.
Great. Okay.
So it's
Now
just a
you
right click and you open it up.
Okay, and to get rid of it, you just right click on the 2021 and it'll
To get
delete
rid of
it.
it, to get rid of 2021, what you need to do is go into your cloud, Adobe Cloud, and let's say, okay, Photoshop 22.5.9. I don't like that anymore. I'm going to get rid of it.
Oh,
More
gotcha.
actions, go there, click on uninstall. Photoshop preferences. I keep my preferences no matter what.
Okay,
So I'll click keep, and then we'll say goodbye to Photoshop.
great. Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. And it's uninstalling. It's going to take a while. So, any other questions? Maurice, good to see you today, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm happy to see a lot of new faces here that I haven't seen for a while. So good to see everybody. Any other questions? Going once, going twice.